Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're diving deep into the 9 lessons an intelligent man should follow with women. Stoicism. Have you ever found yourself feeling lost or uncertain about how to approach relationships with women in a way that aligns with your values and intellect? Maybe you've struggled to navigate emotions, maintain respect, or uphold your principles without creating unnecessary conflict. If this resonates with you, don't worry. You're not alone. In this video, we're sharing 9 essential lessons inspired by Stoic wisdom that will not only help you build stronger relationships, but also bring clarity and balance to your interactions. Let's dive into the timeless principles that can transform the way you connect with women. 1. Stay calm and reflect before reacting. Have you ever let anger take control of you? Maybe someone said something insulting, or you faced a situation where you felt disrespected. What did you do? Did you react immediately, shouting, blaming, or retaliating? And then, what happened next? Did you feel peace, or did regret take over? When we act without thinking, we create bigger problems. Anger blinds us. It makes us say things that hurt people, damage relationships, or even ruin our reputation. Imagine you yell at a friend in a moment of rage. You might feel powerful for a second, but later, guilt creeps in. Why? Because you realize your outburst didn't solve anything. It only pushed people away. Acting on impulse shows weakness. It shows you can't control yourself. And here's the harsh truth. If you can't control yourself, someone else will. They will use your emotions to manipulate and defeat you. Do you really want to give others that power? Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it?" Think about this. The thing that made you angry might be small, but the destruction your anger causes can be massive. It can destroy friendships, families, and your own inner peace. So how do you change this? How do you stay calm and reflect before reacting? Practical advice: pause and breathe. When you feel anger or frustration, don't act right away. Pause. Take a deep breath. Count to 5, 10, or even 20 if you need to. This simple action creates space between your emotions and your response. Detach from the moment. Remind yourself that not everything deserves your energy. Say to yourself, "This moment doesn't control me. I control myself." Imagine you're stepping outside the situation and watching it from a distance. This mental detachment will help you see clearly. Channel the energy. Anger is energy. Instead of wasting it on shouting or arguing, use it to solve the problem. Focus on finding a solution. Use logic, not emotion, to respond. Ask, "Will this matter tomorrow?" Most things that make us angry are small and temporary. Ask yourself, will this matter tomorrow, next week, or next year? If the answer is no, it's not worth reacting to. Practice control daily. Self-control is like a muscle. The more you practice, the stronger it gets. Start small. Practice staying calm in minor annoyances, like waiting in a long line or dealing with a rude comment. If you let anger control you, you'll always be a prisoner of your emotions. But when you master your reactions, you become unstoppable. You become the kind of person who handles life's challenges with strength and dignity. The world will always test you. People will provoke you. Situations will frustrate you. But you have a choice. React impulsively and lose control, or stay calm, reflect, and win the moment. Remember, calmness is power. Control your mind, and nothing can defeat you. 2. Avoid seeking validation. Do you constantly look for approval from others? Maybe you feel good only when someone compliments you, or you feel worthless if they criticize you. Let me ask you this: what happens when that approval doesn't come? How do you feel when someone ignores you or judges you unfairly? When you seek validation, you give away your power. You allow other people to decide your worth. Their opinions become your master, and you become a slave to their approval. This creates insecurity, fear, and anxiety. You start living your life for others instead of living for yourself. And the harsh truth is this: no matter how hard you try, you can't please everyone. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." This might sound harsh, but here's the wisdom in it. If you're always trying to look good in front of others, you'll never grow. True strength comes from within, not from someone else's opinion. Practical advice. Know your values. Decide what matters to you. Write down your core values and live by them. When you know who you are and what you stand for, you won't need anyone else to tell you your worth. Stop comparing yourself. Social media, friends or co-workers may seem to have it all, but their lives aren't your competition. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to others. Set personal goals. Focus on achieving goals that matter to you, not goals meant to impress others. Ask yourself, am I doing this for me or for someone else's approval? Accept criticism. With grace, not everyone will agree with you, and that's okay. Learn to separate constructive criticism from meaningless negativity. Use the constructive feedback to grow and ignore the rest. Celebrate small wins alone. You don't need an audience to validate your success. Learn to feel proud of yourself for even the smallest achievements. Seeking validation is a trap. It puts your happiness and self-worth in someone else's hands. When you stop chasing approval, you become free. You gain confidence and strength because you no longer depend on others to feel good about yourself. Remember, the only approval you truly need is your own. Live by your principles, stay true to yourself, and let your actions speak for who you are. 3. Never manipulate emotions. Have you ever tried to guilt-trip someone, twist their feelings, or use their emotions to get what you want? Maybe it felt like a quick win at the time. But let's be honest, what happened afterward? Did you feel respected? Did the relationship become stronger? When you manipulate someone's emotions, you poison trust. Manipulation might get you short-term results, but it always comes at a cost. It leaves people hurt, resentful, and distant. And worst of all, it destroys your integrity. You become someone who can't be trusted, someone others eventually see through and avoid. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "What is a good man but a teacher of evil to himself when he stoops to deceit?" Think about that. Every time you manipulate, you don't just harm others, you harm yourself. You lower your standards, lose self-respect, and move further away from being the person you truly want to be. Practical advice: be direct and honest. If you want something, ask for it clearly. Don't play games or create emotional traps. Honesty builds respect and trust, which are far more powerful than manipulation. Respect boundaries. Manipulation often involves pushing people beyond their limits. Pay attention to others' boundaries and respect them. If they say no, accept it without guilt-tripping or pressuring. Focus on mutual benefit. Instead of trying to control someone, look for solutions that benefit both parties. Strong relationships are built on mutual respect, not one-sided gains. Check your intentions. Before you speak or act, ask yourself, am I trying to control or deceive them? If the answer is yes, pause and rethink your approach. Apologize when necessary. If you've used manipulation in the past, acknowledge it and apologize. Rebuilding trust takes time, but honesty is the first step. Manipulating emotions is a sign of weakness, not strength. It's the easy way out for those who can't face the truth. But true power comes from being authentic and building trust. People might fear manipulators, but they respect and admire those who are honest and fair. Remember, a Stoic man values integrity above all. Don't trade your character for control. Build relationships on truth, not tricks. The respect you gain will be worth far more than any temporary advantage manipulation could bring. Fourth, communicate openly and honestly. How many times have you kept quiet when you should have spoken up? Or maybe you've said something but didn't say it clearly enough. You hoped people would just get it. But what happened? Did things stay clear? Or did they spiral into misunderstandings, confusion, or even conflict? When you fail to communicate openly and honestly, you leave room for assumptions, mistrust, and frustration. Others are left to guess your intentions, and they often guess wrong. Secrets, half-truths, and silence only create tension and distance. Over time, this will break down relationships, and you'll find yourself isolated and misunderstood. As Epictetus wisely said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." This isn't just about listening more, it's about speaking the truth and expressing yourself clearly. Open and honest communication is the foundation of respect and understanding. Without it, relationships can't thrive. Practical advice. Speak your truth. Don't hold back. If something is bothering you, say it. If you have a need or a desire, express it. Being honest doesn't mean being harsh. It means being clear and direct. Be vulnerable. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's strength. Don't be afraid to share your true thoughts and feelings. People respect honesty even when it's difficult. Ask for clarity. If someone says something unclear, don't let it slide. Ask questions to get to the heart of what they mean. Open communication goes both ways. Avoid assumptions. Don't assume that people know what you're thinking. Be clear. And if you're unsure about someone else's message, ask. Listen more than you speak. Real communication requires active listening. Pay attention to what others are saying, not just what you want to say next. Understand them before responding. Without open and honest communication, you build walls instead of bridges. You start living in a world of confusion, misinterpretation, and frustration. You may win battles, but you'll lose the war for meaningful connections. Remember, truth is powerful. It clears up confusion, strengthens trust, and builds deep, lasting relationships. When you communicate openly, you not only gain respect, you also pave the way for understanding and connection. 5. Don't overcommit to pleasing others. How many times have you said yes when you really wanted to say no? Maybe you agreed to help someone, even when you were already overwhelmed, just because you didn't want to disappoint them. Or perhaps you tried to make everyone around you happy, even if it meant sacrificing your own peace. How did that work out for you? When you overcommit to pleasing others, you lose yourself in the process. You become a puppet, driven by the need for approval, constantly seeking validation from everyone around you. This doesn't just drain your energy, it erodes your sense of self. You end up doing things that don't align with your values or priorities, all to avoid conflict or make someone else happy. But guess what? The more you bend to please others, the less respect they'll have for you. Seneca warned us about this. He who is brave is free. He who is a slave to the approval of others is not free. If you live your life for others, you're not free. You're trapped. When you overcommit to others' desires, you forget to honor your own needs. This leads to resentment, exhaustion, and in the end, a loss of personal happiness. Practical advice. Know your priorities. Be clear on what truly matters to you. If helping others doesn't align with your goals or values, it's okay to say no. Your time and energy are valuable, and you don't owe them to everyone. Learn the power of no. Saying no isn't rude. It's a sign of strength and self-respect. When you say no, you're protecting your energy and making space for what really matters. Set boundaries. Define your limits. Whether it's work, relationships, or social commitments, be clear about what you can and can't handle. Respect your own time, and others will too. Stop seeking constant approval. If you're constantly looking for others' approval, you'll never be happy. Validate yourself. Live by your own standards, not the expectations of others. Take care of yourself. First, you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly giving without receiving, you'll burn out. Make self-care a priority and don't feel guilty about it. If you keep overcommitting to please others, you'll find yourself empty, drained, and disconnected from your own desires. You'll end up resenting the very people you're trying to please. The moment you stop seeking constant approval and learn to say no, you take back control of your life. Remember, your happiness and well-being should come first. When you prioritize your needs and respect your limits, you'll be in a much stronger position to help others and to live a life that's truly yours. Number 6, stand firm on your values. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you compromised your values just to fit in, avoid conflict, or get ahead? Maybe you went along with something you didn't believe in, or you said yes when you should have said no. What did that do to your self-respect? How did it feel afterward? When you compromise on your values, you lose your identity. You sell out pieces of who you are to please others or to get something you want. This may feel good in the moment, but it erodes your integrity over time. You start doubting yourself. You start asking, who am I really? Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." What Marcus is teaching us is this: the way to truly protect your peace is not by trying to match or please others, but by staying true to yourself and your values. When you stand firm, you gain respect, not just from others, but from yourself. Practical advice: know your core beliefs. Take time to define what's non-negotiable for you. What are your guiding principles? Whether it's honesty, integrity, or fairness, make sure you know what you stand for. Don't follow the crowd. Just because everyone around you is doing something doesn't mean it's right. Be willing to stand alone if your values demand it. True strength lies in standing up for what you believe in, even when it's hard. Be consistent. Your values should not change based on the situation or who you're around. Consistency builds trust and shows that your values are more than just words, they are actions. Don't fear rejection. Standing firm on your values might cause you to lose friends or opportunities. That's okay. The people who truly respect you will value you for your principles, not for your ability to bend. Learn from mistakes. If you've compromised your values in the past, don't dwell on it. Learn from it. Use it as a reminder of why staying true to yourself is the best path. When you stand firm on your values, you build a life that is rooted in purpose and authenticity. You stop living for the approval of others and start living for your own integrity. Remember, you may face pressure to change, to fit in, or to sacrifice your beliefs, but in the end, it's your values that will define you, not the fleeting opinions of others. Stay true to who you are, and your self-respect will remain untouchable. Number 7. Let go of grudges. Have you ever carried a grudge against someone for weeks, months, or even years? Maybe they hurt you, betrayed you, or did something unforgivable in your eyes. Every time you think about them, that anger rises, and you feel that old pain all over again. But ask yourself, how does holding on to that grudge really affect you? When you hold on to grudges, you're not hurting the person who wronged you. You're hurting yourself. You let that anger and resentment fester inside you, and it eats away at your peace. Every time you think about the person or the situation, you relive the pain over and over. It traps you in the past, preventing you from moving forward. You become consumed with bitterness, and your energy is wasted on something that is already gone. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, how much time you are going to waste when you are angry, how much energy you are wasting when you cling to past injuries. Carrying grudges is a weight that you alone carry. The person who wronged you has likely moved on, but you're stuck in a prison of your own making. Letting go isn't just about forgiving the other person, it's about freeing yourself from the burden of anger. Practical advice: acknowledge the pain. First, recognize that you're holding on to a grudge. It's okay to admit that you've been hurt. Don't suppress your feelings, but don't let them control you either. Understand, it's about you, not them. Letting go of a grudge isn't about excusing the other person's behavior. It's about reclaiming your peace. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. It only hurts you. Focus on the present. The past is gone and the future is uncertain. All you have is the present moment. When you think about the person or situation that hurt you, remind yourself, this is the past. I have no control over it anymore. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. Forgiveness is not about erasing what happened. It's about letting go of the emotional grip it has on you. You can forgive someone without ever forgetting what they did. Replace the grudge with gratitude. Instead of focusing on what was taken from you, shift your energy to what you still have. Practice gratitude for the good in your life, your health, your relationships, your opportunities. When you let go of grudges, you free up space for peace, happiness, and growth. You stop giving power to the past, and you start living fully in the present. The anger and resentment that once held you back will no longer have any control over your life. Remember, forgiveness is a gift you give yourself. It's not about letting the other person off the hook. It's about giving yourself the freedom to move forward. Let go of the past and watch how much lighter and stronger you feel. Number 8. Take responsibility for your actions. Have you ever blamed someone else for your mistakes? Maybe you failed at something and quickly pointed the finger at external factors, blaming a colleague, your circumstances, or even bad luck. It felt good in the moment, didn't it? But did it help you improve? Did it solve anything? Blaming others for your failures only weakens you. It robs you of the chance to grow. When you shift responsibility, you give up control over your life. You say, "It wasn't my fault," but deep down, you know that you're the only one who can truly change your situation. This behavior creates a cycle of weakness. Instead of looking within to learn, you look outside for excuses and you stay stuck. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, teaches us, it is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. What he's saying is this: it's not the situation that causes your suffering, but how you respond to it. When you take responsibility for your actions, you stop playing the victim. You stop blaming circumstances and others for your failures. You take ownership, and with ownership comes the power to change. Practical advice: own your mistakes. When you mess up, admit it. Don't make excuses or point fingers. Acknowledge what went wrong and accept your role in the outcome. This takes courage, but it's the first step to growth. Shift your focus from blame to solution. Instead of spending time blaming others or complaining about the situation, focus on what you can do to fix it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? And how can I do better next time? Stop complaining. Complaining is a way of giving away your power. It's easy to blame others or talk about how unfair things are, but that won't help you. Accept what you can't change and focus your energy on what you can control. Practice self-reflection. Take time each day to reflect on your actions. Ask yourself, did I handle that situation well? What could I have done differently? Self-reflection helps you improve and avoid repeating mistakes. Take action. Responsibility is not just about acknowledging your mistakes. It's about changing your behavior. Take the necessary steps to make things right, whether that means apologizing, improving your skills, or changing your habits. When you take responsibility for your actions, you gain control over your life. You stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the creator of your own destiny. You stop waiting for things to change and start making changes yourself. Remember, the path to growth begins with accountability. When you stop blaming and start owning, you unlock the true power within you to create the life you want. Number 9. Focus on what you can control. Have you ever stressed over something you had no control over? Maybe it was a situation at work, someone else's behavior, or the outcome of an event you couldn't influence. How did that make you feel? Frustrated? Helpless? The truth is, when you focus on things you can't control, you give away your peace and your energy. Constantly stressing about uncontrollable factors only leads to frustration, anxiety, and burnout. You waste time and energy on things that won't change, no matter how hard you try. You end up feeling powerless, unable to act or think clearly. It's like swimming against a powerful current. You exhaust yourself, but don't move forward. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Marcus understood something crucial. You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you react to it. When you focus on what's within your control, your actions, your thoughts, and your responses, you reclaim your power and your peace. Practical advice: focus on your reactions. The only thing you can truly control is your reaction. When something happens that you don't like, take a moment before reacting. Ask yourself, how do I want to respond to this? Responding with calm and clarity is always better than reacting out of anger or frustration. Let go of what you can't change. Stop trying to control things that are beyond your power, other people's actions, the weather, or past mistakes. Accept that these things are outside your control and free up your energy to focus on what you can do now. Set goals you can achieve. Instead of worrying about outcomes you can't influence, focus on goals and tasks that are in your hands. Set clear, actionable goals for yourself. This gives you a sense of purpose and control, and it keeps you moving forward. Practice mindfulness. When you feel overwhelmed, take a step back and practice mindfulness. Focus on the present moment, breathing deeply and bringing your attention to what you can do right now. This helps calm your mind and put things in perspective. Take action in your sphere of influence. Don't waste time stressing about things you can't change. Instead, focus on what you can influence. If you can't control someone else's behavior, work on improving your own actions. If the outcome of an event is uncertain, focus on giving your best effort in what you can control. When you focus on what you can control, you take back your peace of mind. You stop giving away your energy to things that don't matter, and instead direct it towards things that bring real progress and growth. Remember, your mind, your actions, and your responses are yours to control. Once you stop wasting time on things outside of your influence, you'll find strength and peace in the present moment. Keep your focus sharp and use your energy wisely. It's the only resource you truly control. You've just learned 9 powerful lessons that can transform your mindset and your life. From staying calm in the face of challenges to taking responsibility for your actions, each of these principles can help you build a life of strength, peace, and integrity. But knowledge alone isn't enough. It's time to put these lessons into practice. Start today. Don't wait for the perfect moment, because that moment is now. Ask yourself, how will you apply these Stoic principles in your daily life? Will you stay calm and reflect before reacting? Will you stop seeking approval and start living on your own terms? Remember, the journey to true strength doesn't happen overnight. It requires commitment, reflection, and a relentless drive to become a better version of yourself every day. So take responsibility for your actions, focus on what you can control, and always stand firm on your values. The power to change your life is in your hands. Thank you for watching. Now go out there and start living the Stoic way. Thanks for watching.